Hello everyone, I'm PandaLemonTart, and for this video, I'll be making a grocery store for Lavender Lane. Our town is getting bigger and we have been establishing more and more characters who are residents of the city, so they do need a place to get their groceries. This build will be a two-parter. This part is making of the grocery store and the stockroom. Let's start building. I knew this build was going to be a corner store of some sort, and I also knew I wanted it taller than the building next to it. You can see that I've put walls down already because I was testing the shape of it earlier. I took this time to delete all of the shrubs and trees visible from the inside of the building outline. And this happens to be every plant's entry in the near vicinity. I wanted a fresh start, so I deleted the shell of the building. I've decided to give it more edges and shape than the original layout you just saw. I wanted a large space in front of the store because I was going for that city center vibe. This would be the busy part of Lavender Lane, and I made sure to give space for people to walk about. I then tried to layer the floors this way, but it just looked so awkward, so I settled for the bottom floor being the only one that is a little bit more pushed in the building. Now, speaking of layers, let the layering begin. One thing I learned from making Lavender Lane is that I want to add as much as possible to the buildings because their shape is a little bit more basic than your average suburban town. The only town I could really compare Lavender Lane to is my other city/town, Autumnville. Now, 2 years in, I started to notice Autumnville's buildings are quite flat, and if I'm being honest, a little boring. At the same time, when I was making it, I really thought I did well. It is still pretty, but me finding so many faults in it now just proves how much my building style has evolved. I totally adore these commercial windows we have. I think they fit most building styles, and they are definitely my go-to when it comes to businesses. This part over here is a sneak peek for the next video, so we will be having an entrance to the upper levels of this building, but it won't be through the grocery store. Our way to the storage room will be through an elevator because it will be very hard to transport the stock up and down the stairs, if we did have stairs. We wouldn't want to tire our employees that much. We would like to keep the work conditions safe and healthy. It was taking too much space, so I thought of creating a space for it outside of the building we already established. I added those iconic balcony sliding doors they have in most apartments, and before anyone says it, yes, the building is not symmetrical and it is uneven. Trust me, it irks me too, but that's why we had to put an extra window on the right side balconies. Right here, you will catch me trying to use the color wheel for the first time. I totally ignored it for the past week because it just looks so intimidating, but honestly, I'm glad that we have access to any color possible now. I was building with friends the other day, and I noticed that when I copy the color they used, I can't replicate it on the other slots because it's showing as a custom color. I wonder if there's a way around that, or maybe there is and I'm just stupid. But please, let me know your overall thoughts on the color wheel. Of course, I just had to use the color green for this grocery store build. It just screams fresh, you know? I was worried about using too many colors for this town because I wanted it to be different from Maple Street. And sometimes I think that Lavender Lane is just Maple Street, but downtown. And honestly, I'm starting to believe that Maple Street is just my building style, and that's why I can't escape it. I'm adding vines to this build because I just think that every build needs it. It just looks so lifeless until I start spamming the vines. I'm using these wall lights that I use for commercial builds. One thing they really need to add in Bloxburg is more selection when it comes to wall lights. If your build is looking a little flat like this one, use roofs like what I'm doing right now, or fences. It always distracts the eyes from the build's imperfections. I put these curved basic shapes for the bottom floor roof too, and at this point I don't even know if I'm overdoing this technique in this build. Hopefully people will just see it as a recurring theme rather than a lazy design I replicated over and over. Our video for today is sponsored by Project Makeover. In this game, you are a director of a reality TV show that helps people transform their looks, house, and life. This lady over here needs help with improving her appearance. Let's help her. We can change her hairstyle, give her trendy clothes, and even decorate her apartment. You already know this was my favorite part. But really though, this game is so addicting. They even have satisfying to solve puzzles and mini games that give us money so we can help our customers even further. This game also tackles thousands of levels and different episodes, so we get to meet and transform the lives of many customers and give them the ultimate makeover. The different storylines and plots got me so hooked. I think you would be too. And also, you can sell your own avatar and visit friends. Download this game now using the link in the description below or pinned comment. You can also download it using this QR code right here. Let's get back into the video. It seems that putting the curved roof on the bottom floor isn't enough for me, so I added it above all of the balconies. I was thinking this could be some sort of cloth that people can remove when they no longer want shade. To pull off this look, I used structurals to give it this bit that hangs under. I added air conditioners, and with that we also need piping because the water from the air conditioners need to go somewhere. Quickly finishing off the exterior, I'll be covering these glitchy bits using structurals. Now it looks a lot cleaner. We are finally dealing with the inside of this grocery store. We only have one entrance and exit, so it would make sense if the cash register counters are closer to the front of the build. Every time I make a grocery store, I keep trying to use the shelves that we have in build mode, but none of them seem to ever fit the aesthetic I'm going for. So every time, I end up making my own, and it always almost involves this wire mesh. We have differently shaped items for sale, so it's nice to have these shelves because we can place them anywhere and create spaces for different heights. These freezers are a must when making grocery store builds, but this time I'm using the empty ones instead of the ones with drinks inside it already. Our grocery store is just a grocery store and not a full-on supermarket. We don't have a lot of space to put in a lot of shelves, so I'm carefully trying to make a layout that will be spacious enough for customers to walk around in, but also allows us to put a lot of shelves so we can sell more items. Now for the fresh produce area, I used this planter from the garden section and put a structural over it so the dirt is hidden. But I like the shape of it, that's why I used it instead of a normal table. The fresh produce shelves are always slanted, so the harvests always roll down near the customers. I'm using basic shapes to achieve that same look. And now we are up to the tedious part. If only we can buy the fruits and vegetables from the build mode itself, it would be a lot easier. But instead, I had to buy these one by one and add them in live mode and then go to build mode to arrange them neatly. It was a pain. The reason why I'm adding this clear basic shape is so that way our produce kind of have this mountain shape. It just makes it look like there's a lot of produce instead of just filling in the surface level. Sadly, our grocery store is still not progressive and they still use plastics to gather the items they want. These paper rolls are disguised as plastic rolls. The customers can just grab one piece and wrap up their fresh food items. Next is oranges, and I don't want to bore you too much, so let's fast forward this bit. Now, it seems that I actually forgot to record the next part. You're going to have to just forgive me for that. I filled up most of the fresh produce area and even made a meat freezer. This also took a while, so you can imagine my disappointment when I found out that I wasn't even recording. I used towels, pillows, placemats, boxes, and even socks to make these meats. I just colored them meat color with that giraffe texture. This whole freezer deserves its own lighting to attract meat lovers, so I added that too. After all we've been through, I decided that now's the time to decide what our color palette should be for the inside of our grocery store. Towels are just needed when it comes to a grocery store build, so of course I had to add that. Towels are just so easy to clean, so if there's any spills on the walls, it doesn't stain and any dirt is easily removable. If anything, I'm making it easier for our employees to maintain this place. There's always a bench after the cash registers, and it's so sweet when I see old people just sitting there and waiting for their spouse to finish paying. On other days, it's 3 children who are waiting for their mom to finish doing the groceries. Next to them will be the flower section, so they get to enjoy the smell of the flowers while waiting, unless they're allergic or something. I wanted our customers to be able to choose the flowers that go in their bouquet, so I put some flowers in buckets so they can customize. But we also sell pre-designed bouquets for those people on the go or for those who just don't have the talent for floristry. Many people in my comment section are asking me to build a florist shop, but I think this is the better option. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about the family that owns this business, and yes, it is family owned. The family that owns this business are farmers. The farm is owned by the grandfather who's had multiple farms. His son and his wife manage this grocery store, which sells their produce. The grandfather recently passed away and gave a piece of land to his granddaughter who lives in the above apartment of this grocery store. She wants to maintain the piece of land she inherited from her grandfather, but her parents won't allow her and told her that she has to finish college first. Right now, she is very torn. Should she move to the farm or stay here managing the grocery store with her parents while studying? But that would mean she would have to leave everything she's ever known, her friends, her city life, but she's convinced that living at the farm and forming new friends and bonds there would be really good too. She's definitely up for the adventure. Because this is a family-owned business, they have to maintain the grocery themselves. They don't have any security guards to mind the store, so they do have surveillance cameras up and a little gate for the customers. It opens when someone's nearby. Doing a quick live inspection of our grocery store, I noticed that it's quite dark. We definitely need to put lights in. I'm so excited to see what color will be best for lighting now that there is a color wheel involved. I didn't want to find it myself, so I'm just gonna sit back and wait for other people to make a post about it. I added some items to the outside of the store because customers would be walking past this grocery store a lot but might not even check out what's inside. Putting some items outside will convince some customers to come in and check out the rest of the items we are selling. And like I said, because this is a town center, buskers come here to perform since there's a lot of people and it's just easy exposure for them. The family that owns this business does not mind at all, though the daughter kind of minds it because the guy that busks at the front is a total simp for her and she finds it very annoying. I put anti-slip rugs everywhere so the store is accident-proof. Similar to the convenience store for Mapletown, I made custom shopping baskets and trolleys for this build. As much as I love inventing these, I would prefer if Bloxburg could just give us access to what's really in Bloxburg already. Like those trolleys at BFF Supermarket. It would make my life a lot easier. Before I knew it, I was back to stocking up again. Again, tedious process, so I'm just going to fast forward this bit. You're welcome. I made sure to put the groceries all over the place so it looks like customers have been shopping in here, but I still minded how much walking space we have because I didn't want the space in between the aisles to be too tight. I put candies in front of the conveyor belt at the cash register station so we can bait customers into grabbing a sweet snack before paying. Moving upstairs to the storage room, this is the space we are working with. This is just the easiest part of the whole build because it is quite repetitive. I am only copy-pasting the shelves I've done before, but like adding more stocks than the average shelf. The only bad thing about it is the fact that everything is so expensive. I like to also mess it up a little bit by putting a wheelbarrow, spare trolleys and baskets, and just spare whatever's from downstairs. I even give the employees a little lunchroom, or should I say lunch balcony. These employees are just young teens because we like to keep their wage cheap. Here, I'm putting a security camera near the security TV thing so we have a record of what goes on in the grocery store, especially when the owners are not there. I quickly took a screenshot of the camera's view, edited it a little bit, and uploaded it as a decal. I resized it to fit the TV, and that's how you fake a security TV. I welcome you to Farm Fresh Grocery Store. Family-owned business for your family's everyday needs. Let's head in. Come on inside, guys. We have a lot of items outside like I mentioned before, and of course I added our lavender plants everywhere. This is the busking station, and yeah, people just come in, give money to us if we play them a song. This is also a pretty cool way to earn money if you're a teen. We have our trash can over here, some posters, and vending machines. On the other side, we have our trolley line. Love it. Honestly, love it. This place makes me feel so nostalgic. I've never even been here. This gate opens whenever we go inside. I don't really know the purpose of it. We do have it at our local grocery stores, but is it just to... I don't know. I'm confused. Anyone's allowed to go in, and the door opens for everyone anyway, so why do we need a gate? I don't know. Don't ask me. Anyways, yeah, I just put that there because I was just copying from real life. Don't blame me. Anyways, this is our fresh produce area and of course our fresh meat. Fresh meat. Look at all these types of meats, okay? We have chicken, turkey, beef, and this is a sock, guys. It's a sock. Don't be fooled. I know it looks like bacon, but I promise you it's just a sock. I'm so glad we got new items from the last two updates. That's including the gardening update and the makeup updates. I was able to add them here as well. Oh, and these are my ice cream cartons, okay? Aren't they so pretty? Oh my gosh. Those are just like the little, what do you call it, containers, like sugar containers. And I was like, yeah, let's color them. Neapolitan colors. After we get everything we need, we put it in the conveyor belt in front of the cash register person and we pay for our stuff. And we can even sit here if we're waiting for someone. And I'm honestly just loving that TV that shows the security footage. Isn't it so unique? It's so cute. I love it so much. We can even grab flowers over here if we're gonna go, I don't know, on a date or something. Or if we just like to, you know, have it in our house, okay? We don't need to have a date to get flowers. Anyways, let's go upstairs. You can see the elevator is quite bland. That's because it's supposed to be bland because it's just an elevator for the warehouse upstairs. Okay, going in the warehouse upstairs, it's giving warehouse, you know? I love it because it's giving what it's supposed to be giving. I can smell this place. Is that weird? I can tell you it kind of smells like rice. Don't ask. Anyways, let's keep going, okay? Look at all of our stock. Oh my gosh. Damn, I was just reminded of how much this whole place cost. Honestly, people always ask me how much do my builds cost. Guys, it's in the description below. Just go look at it over there. But yeah, that finishes this build. And please watch the next one because I can't wait to give you more information about this family that I will be introducing. And thanks for watching this video!